have to do that. I've always been surprised though, overall, when I go back and have to reprospect something for some reason, you know, I always end up finding another list of people that I never saw before, you know, another list of contractors that I never saw before. It's amazing.
And again, this guy is 30, wife, kids, hungry. You know, I'm just going after that, you know, age bracket. And
Yep. Yeah, that's good. Get them when they're motivated. Right on. Well, congratulations, Neil. Who else has a win? Laurent? What do you got? I think I just muted you. There we go. There we go.
Can you hear me?
I can now, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I do have a win. So I don't have wins often, but this one, I'm pretty happy about that one. I did work hard on it, even though it's not making me a lot of money yet, but it will be coming. So I did use my hot market. So I did some studies with people. I did an MBA not long ago, and there was this woman which is a business owner, and I did pitch her 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, something like that. So we went over a website. I gave her advice on how to rank a little bit better, and she came back 6 months ago. She wanted to start a new segment in a company, and it's an emerging market here in Canada. It's an emerging market due to the fact that the government has a desire to move to more cleaner energies. So I did build 4 sites around the city in order to capture as more lead as possible. And I got my first payment earlier last week. So, which means that it's starting to pick up. So I'm super happy with that. But the win is not really that. The win is that right now this niche is a little bit low in terms of money, but she wants me to go now for the big bucks in her business. So to take over, in fact, leads that would cost between 10 to 50K. So that's my win for the week.
Wow. So you're going to up level the site to go after the higher ticket jobs. That's great. Yeah, there's always opportunity there. We're trying to do that with a couple of sites we have too that are just underperforming, just getting lower level leads. So we're kind of repositioning them, you know, to get a better client. Great. It sounds like you're doing good then. That's awesome. Anybody else?
Right. I think.
Or go ahead.
Can
Patrick.
you hear me? I think I have a stable connection now.
Right on.
Can you check to see if we have the Facebook group?
Yeah, we're live in Facebook. I didn't realize I didn't have my camera.
For some reason it's not showing me. So awesome.
I got it.
Congrats to both you guys. Laurent, that you guys are kind of constantly looking away here. The exact niche you're talking about there. Yeah, one you had the idea of trying to like arbitrage it and do it on your own, right? Am I frozen? Did I lose my connection?
I can hear you.
I don't know what's going on with this guy. Sorry.
I'm still looking into that, Patrick. I've actually talked to one of my other future clients that has all the equipment and everything. They're kicking it around. So that in the future, that could still happen.
Yeah. So that might be the play if it doesn't work out with this guy. I like Jeff was saying, you know, when you prospect, you can always find new people, but your niche is such a it's such a unique niche that I think, you know, you may get tapped out a lot sooner than other people would in a niche or, you know, in other niches. But yeah, man, congrats. It sounds like you got some big money coming in from it. What is that, 18 grand a year or starting off, and then it can only go up from there. Right. So, so that's super cool. Laurent, congrats on the possibility. We've got a win on our ends. We're now like officially kind of like a week and a half into the open road and cruising around in our RV. I spent a few days on my buddy's farm outside Buffalo, which was amazing. You know, after kind of being locked in my office for a year, we were riding RVs, or I'm sorry, ATVs around, and we had a bonfire, kind of had some country cooking where he pulled stuff like right from his farm. So that was super cool. We were, I spent a lot of money on this internet connection, if you want to call it an internet connection, because, and I'll tell you, there's some woods right in front of me, and I was about to throw this thing in the woods before this call. So I apologize for the technical difficulties. I know that there's good solutions out there. I guess maybe I don't have this configured right, or maybe I need to go with another option, but we're trying to work through this and, you know, prioritize our internet. It has to be there for what we do, right? So I'm hoping to kind of lay the groundwork. I know a lot of you guys have expressed the desire to kind of be a digital nomad and be able to travel like this. So I'm certainly going to get this figured out. I know there's other RVers that I've spoken to that have no internet issues. We went with kind of flagship top of the line, thinking that would be the case for us, and it hasn't been so far. So we'll get this straightened out. But we're kind of interesting today, and the GPS is telling us we're traveling from New York to Vermont, and we're in our 31-foot RV, and it says turn right and board ferry. So little did we know the ferry is capable of taking the RV. So we were really floating with the RV on a boat about 2 hours ago on the way here, which was a pretty cool experience. We're set up in a really nice area. We're now in Vermont, kind of making our way up to Maine. So just some personal inspiration for those of you guys that would like to join us. I actually think my buddy is going to be coming with us on and doing a caravan. I'm trying to get Jeff to potentially do the same. So we may be coming. I will be giving you guys a sheet to fill out for any of you guys that I'd love to meet you guys. We have the opportunity. So I'll give a sheet and we can kind of look as we go through different areas. Sometimes it may not work out for our schedule. You know, we've met a few along the way. My buddy that owns the farm is one of the people. I'm not going to share his name, but we had a great time. So I don't know if you guys saw this before we get started. And Jeff, is my sound going in and out? Is that why you?
Your sound is good. I just
okay.
cut your video and turned it back on to see if it would reconnect because you were frozen there. Everybody likes it though.
Okay.
Well, at least some people do.
Okay, cool.
Hey Patrick, have you worked at the ferry, the island yet?
I'm sorry. What's that? The ferry to Ireland?
Yeah. Have you worked at the ferry, the island yet?
I have not. I would love that opportunity. We're going to be kind of in like Northeast Maine, so I think that would be a good launch spot. Maybe certainly closer than where we came from. I'd love to get to Ireland. I know with like COVID, we haven't. You know, the whole reason we chose this because international travel was restricted. So, but once this is over, we'll be back international again. I want to get into, I don't know how long my connection will be good for. So I want to get into some updates. We released some big updates this morning, and I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but the pipeline stuff that we've been talking about for a long time is live. For those of you guys who weren't on the call last week, we had the user role updates go live with the custom user roles. So let's jump into that. One thing that I want to mention is, you know, we're still working through the GMB stuff. And I know that it's a point of frustration for some of you guys, and it's certainly a point of frustration for us too, right? We're doing everything we can. It's a little bit out of our hands with Google, but you know, nothing's ever completely out of your hands. So we're working through this to try to find a solution. You know, my plan is to try to make it up to you guys. Hopefully you see that we're doing these calls that we don't have to do every week, right? We're adding in more modules. So for those of you that are frustrated and kind of in that boat, I want you guys to take be patient with us. We're doing everything that we can. We're doing everything we can try to make sure that we give you guys the value and exceed the value. And you know, we had no plans of losing our GMB module. So most of you guys have been super understanding, but we just, I've seen a few chats with our support team, and it's painful for me to see you guys frustrated, and it's not coming from a lack of trying on our end. Okay, so with that being said, let's go and let's do a little share screen here. Give me 1 second. Get this thing loaded up. Oh boy. It may be just a second here. I've got all kinds of passwords that seem to be required all of a sudden. Do you have any questions on anything? Concerns?
I haven't seen any specific questions, except that somebody in the Facebook group is asking about the best practices when prospecting for the heat map. Raphael is responding a little bit. I haven't done a lot of heat map prospecting lately, just because we have assets where leads are coming in, so I kind of use the leads as bait. But a lot of people have done screencasts, David, and then I think that's what Raphael is saying. And other than that, I use it also to find who the competitors are, and then look and see, if they have a Facebook page or whatever their marketing looks like, look at their website. And then, I just use that to prospect, because that kind of gives me some of the competitors who might be right below the line. It tells me if they're not ranking in a specific area of the city, or if they're not ranking at all, then I know they're probably a good prospect, because they have room to grow their business if they can handle it, if they have the bandwidth to take on more jobs. So that's kind of how I do it. And then somebody else, Jennifer's asking, I'm not sure what the format of the meetings is. My first one, asking a simple question. I have a new SEO client with their own number already. Am I able to use lead generated to track any new calls without having to use CallSling? They already have their own number and use lead generated.
Yeah, so
call without CallSling.
you could possibly do is depending on where the phone number is posted, you could go through Zapier to try to make that connection. With lead generated right now, technically we're only supporting CallSling, unfortunately. So there may be some things like we're probably going to be moving this into a for the soft.
You broke up on that, Patrick. All right, guys, you can just be a little patient and see if his internet kicks back in. He may be trying to share screen right now, so it's kind of in transition. Back?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, you broke up on that last part.
Yeah, so all I was saying is we're probably going to be moving this group to just be kind of like a lead generated support group, and then we will have a separate group that's for coaching, right? So this will just be kind of for supporting the software, and then at that point we may be able to kind of discuss other phone system options and stuff like this. But just trying to, I know that a lot of you guys have been really unhappy with CallSling, and I'm just trying to make sure that we keep our integrity towards our agreement. Like our hands are just a little bit tied with trying to support these other phone systems. I would encourage you guys to look at Zapier, though. We do connect with Zapier, and I know that that's been a workaround for some of you guys, right? So just give me 1 second here, guys. I am trying to get logged into my test account. Any other questions on anything else? Anybody struggling with something?
Anybody else have any input for David on the prospecting with heat maps?
Yeah, so I can kind of go over that prospecting with heat maps. So a screencast is definitely going to be the way. And you know, one of the best things that you can do whenever you're prospecting, whenever you're trying to do sales, is create certainty. And the way you do that is by offering value. So I would go ahead and tell people your strategies for improving the heat map. You can show them the heat map. You can show them their competitors and how their competitors are outranking them. And, you know, what I would next do is I would be showing the way this meeting is going tonight. Obviously, we're having some technical difficulties on our end. If this is your first meeting, I encourage you to check out some of our other previous. They go on without a hitch, but you know, when you're dealing with technical stuff, there's always going to be an issue, right? So the heat map is going to be one of the best methods for prospecting. Jeff has created a directory of past phone calls, and this is certainly something that we've covered on multiple other phone calls in the past where
All right. Anybody else hearing him? I'm not hearing him at all. Yeah. That's, you know. Yeah, so I think he may be addressing Jennifer as far as the past call archive, which is in the announcements in the group, Jennifer. So if you want to check that out, and if you go and search in that document, prospecting, heat map, anything like that, you're going to find in the outline the timestamps and the weekly video that we discussed it. And then if you went back and kind of mined that archive for the different aspects of what you're looking for and just do a little research, it's probably been asked and answered and discussed, and you know, from a couple of different angles over the past 6 months or so. And that's going to give you a really good running start. And then you're also asking about Zapier, and yeah, that's a little bit of a technical solution. We've talked about that on past calls as well. But basically what it is, I'm not really, I'm a sales guy, but with Zapier, you can make a connection to the client's call system so that you can get, or to the client's call phone number rather, so that you can track the calls that are coming in off the GMB, I believe is what he was saying. So we could maybe go over that a little bit more detail when he gets a connection, which is probably looking like it's not going to be tonight. So I don't know if he's going to want to just cancel the call tonight, or if he's going to want to continue to try to juggle this connection. Maybe we'll give it just another minute or two to see if he can get back on. And
Jeff, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, guys, I'm really sorry dealing with this issue. I think it may be best to just like cancel this one. I hate to have you guys hanging on the line. I know that your guys' time's valuable. I'll put together a video, just kind of like a value video for you guys as a supplement. And hopefully by next Wednesday, we can get our internet issues figured out. We did drop an update into the group. We now have the pipeline and task functionality. So if you expand leads within your lead generated account, you'll see that there's a pipeline in there. I will put together a video that kind of goes over that, and hopefully I can get that out tomorrow if our internet connection is working. Otherwise, I guess I can run into town and make sure that I have a solid internet connection. But if this is your first call, this is the first time we've really had this sort of an issue. So this is certainly not how things normally go. I apologize. My apologies for this. It's been, it's been frustrating. I'm trying to make this conversion into this nomadic lifestyle here with the RV traveling, and it sucks that the technical stuff is getting in the way. But I think we should have it all resolved by next week. So we'll drop a call in there. If you guys have any questions, just put them in the group, and we'll go from there. So my apologies for not having a more productive call for you guys tonight. Did that all come through, Jeff? Yep.
You came through for Neil. Everybody's waving. Yep. Sorry about that, guys. So, yep.
We'll get this stuff sorted out, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you. Take care.
All right, go get some wins.